What is happening, party people? This right here is my Pappa's Magic Bubbles recipe. Now, I made this up. It worked great. I did some bubbles at Sarah's birthday and then at the Slopcourt picnic all in one weekend. Very bubbly time. And you're just seeing these bubbles. They got guar gum and they've got vegetable glycerin. Those are the things that kind of add the strength to these bubbles. And you're about to see a lot of slow-mo footage from my GoPro, which is really fun, and it's going to make it a bit of a long video, but I hope you're ready for that. I'm going to do a little reading from The Beginning Comes After the End, Notes on a World of Change by Rebecca Solnit. And this is a book that I listened to maybe like 4 or 5 months ago. I don't fully remember. But it was really good. I'd maybe read some of her stuff like in articles, but I don't think I've read any of her books. But it's just a good like view on the world and progress and just kind of giving an overall picture of things and being quite hopeful in the face of it all. And I just really enjoyed it. So this is from chapter 2 of that book. I recommend you check it out. The Beginning Comes After the End, Notes on a World of Change by Rebecca Solnit. Chapter 2, Winged Seeds. Seeds spread by many means. Some, encased in fruit, are eaten by birds and excreted on the wing far from the berry bush. Some have their own wings, or are shaped like parachutes so they can travel on the wind, as do the seeds of dandelions and maples. Some explode from the pod, as do the bean-like seeds of wisteria. Some travel by sticking to fur or hair or fabric. Some are carried away and stored by squirrels, whose forgetfulness begets forests. Some seeds lie dormant for years or decades and only germinate when fire sweeps over the land. Sequoias, those largest beings standing on the earth, only drop their seeds when fire comes and melts the resin in the cones. In destruction is their regeneration. Ideas, too, have many ways of traveling, and some ideas that begin in obscurity spread and proliferate and strengthen to become powerful elements of a culture, a society, a civilization. The ideas that have taken root in the last 3/4 of a century have borne fruit, as laws, rights, beliefs, roles, possibilities that did not exist before, and they add up to changes so profound that they amount to the end of a civilization and the beginning of another with different values and beliefs. We often speak as though we are here to toil, endlessly planting and cultivating seeds and seedlings. But we have also feasted on harvests from what was sown and tended by those who came before. You can chop down a tree, but ideas tend to outlive their attacks. You can, for example, take away rights, but not belief in those rights. Ideas in this sense are trees that will not become seeds again, are the genies in the Arabian Nights who, once released from captivity, will do anything but be bottled up again. Undoubtedly, some American women who lost reproductive rights after the June 24th, 2022 decision, overturning the Roe v. Wade Supreme Court decision 49 years earlier, believe that they and others should not have those rights. Though, often, people who don't believe in the general principle grant themselves an exemption or bury it all in the cognitive dissonance or denial. They are significantly outnumbered by people who believe in those rights for all. The memory of rights taken away will not be uprooted easily, and while the U.S. has increasingly allowed states to restrict those rights, other nations, including Mexico, Argentina, Ireland, and Spain, and some U.S. states, have expanded them. In June 2025, the United Kingdom overturned an 1861 law criminalizing abortion, used mostly to punish women who had abortions after 24 weeks, and in 2019 decriminalized abortion in Northern Ireland. Ideas have power, and while those who support them often dismiss that power, those who would fear them recognize they can change the world. Environmentalist Gus Speth writes that visions of a better world will not compete yet in today's practical politics, but calls them the first blueprints of the future, the playing fields of radical hope, the dreams that stuff is made of. Ideas are seeds in that they are beginnings. If they succeed, they do so as they take on more tangible and concrete forms. They become how the world is, how we do things. They guide our practical actions, whether it's our relationships to each other or the land. Seeds, or imaginal cells, the instructions for transformation. This is a long essay in the form of a short book about the profound changes of the past several decades, about those who planted and tended the seeds, about how ideas became actualities, how we came to live in a time so different from the past, how this year may look like the last year, but 2025 looks nothing at all like 1965, and is wilder in many ways, good and bad, than anyone dreamed of back then. The good parts mostly came along because of campaigns, struggles, visions acted on, and the participants made it up as they went along, incorporating what they learned, redefining as they went, setting new goals when they reached earlier ones, or course correcting when they learned from their mistakes. This is a reminder that you do not have to picture the destination to reach it, or at least draw closer to it. You just need to choose a direction and keep on walking. Though that metaphor makes it sound as though it already exists, if at a distance, rather than that the process itself creates it and covers the distance between the ideas and the actuality. You can arrive at a new social reality and its consequences, such as land back, or rights affirmed, or legislation passed, or equality established, or access opened up. All of this can also be undone, and there's an immense backlash against what these decades have brought us. But the fury of that backlash is itself evidence of the significance of what was achieved. This is not a book claiming that the work is finished or that we have arrived in an ideal anything or that all of us are on board. It's an exploration of transformation on an epic scale and in almost every avenue of life and thought. Like everything I write, it's not meant to be comprehensive. Rather, think of it as a map on which you can fill in missing details and trace your own routes against mine or clarify your vision by disagreeing with mine. It's a book that reaches across many disciplines and topics, in none of which I am officially expert, though I've spent many decades paying close attention to many of them. And that's what I'm going to end it on. Check out this book. I really enjoyed it. The beginning comes after the end. I listened to the audiobook, of course. And I'll see you later, Slobcore.